Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Hope and I hope you're doing well. Today we are going to be doing, of course, more gel nails. This is the set that I'm going to be doing. It is this blue and green magnetic gel using the Mayo cooling collection because, you know, I could not wait to get into this cooling collection. It's so stunning. Here are the colors and they are MC13 and MC15, and here as always is my mood board that I'm going to be using. We'll talk through this during the video because of course I also have to highlight nail safety, so please do not touch uncured gel with your skin and do research into lamp compatibility, all of that stuff if you're going to be doing your own gel nails at home. So to begin with this set, I am not sure if you will know, but if you're a fan of Korean gels and Korean gel brands, you must have seen the DVOK New Moon collection. It is this, I think it's like 12 polishes, this 12 polish collection full of magnetic gels, but they're not just magnetic gels because they also have colored glitters in them. And one of the popular designs from this set that's been going around on DVOK's Instagram and stuff is this nail that I'm replicating right now. So we do a half and half magnetic to begin with as your base. So I've done the green on one side and then the blue on the other side, and then we're going to go in with a magnet and magnetize everything kind of to the front first and then into a circle. So that's what I'm trying to do here, using mainly like a small strong magnet, and then we'll go in with this long bar magnet. Kind of want to angle this so that you get that half moon shape, and then I'm going to, you know, just angle this, create that half moon shape. Be very I would say patient with it, and then once you're happy with the half moon, go and cure that really quickly. And then after curing that, I'm going to go in with a matte top coat, and this is where we get into like the more fun part of the design, because we're going to be painting on with maybe like an accessory bond, some sort of kind of thick putty kind of 3D gel. This is the Hoholee magic gel, embossing gel I believe, and we're going to go on and paint lines. And I know in the DVOK's design of this, I think they paint a lot more lines quite closely together. For mine personally, I wanted to make it a bit more obvious and have more of a matte gap in between. So that's what I'm going in here and doing. I think I did a total of around 5 or 7 per nail. And then after curing that, I'm going to go in with my charm. This is a little different to the DVOK design, but I just wanted to spruce up the design a little bit by putting on this translucent heart, because I thought if I put this translucent heart on, it will kind of reflect the magnetic from underneath as well, because you're adding in more dimension and like refraction. And you can see here, this is what this ended up looking like. I think it's super pretty, not too overstated. It's kind of a filler nail for the set, but really pretty nonetheless. And then moving on to the next nail. Okay, so this next nail is going to be, I guess, where I talk a little bit more about the inspiration for this set and that kind of stuff, because I will be honest with you, you can see me here, I'm painting on a butterfly using the blue, I think it's MC15 gel, and this clip, I believe I've sped it up by 4 times. This is 4 times speed because it took me so long to paint this butterfly nail. It took me so long because I did this on 2 nails, 1 on each hand, so in a blue and a green version. It took me so long to paint these, oh my gosh. But it's also kind of nice because you know these nails where it is artistry and you're kind of there painting, sometimes those are the nails where you can actually just relax the most and kind of get stuck into it. And that's why I'm going to be talking a little bit more during this one regarding the design. So this design inspiration, thank you Kai, because this was inspired by a set that Kai from Get Pressed Nails by C shared with me on Instagram. I would say about a month ago now from the point of me uploading this video, and it was this gorgeous like blue butterfly design, which was kind of like this but not magnetized, and it had these 3D like balls on the edges of the wings and stuff. You'll see as I do this, but it was just absolutely stunning, and I was like, I need to recreate that using magnetic gels. So that's mainly the inspiration for this set overall. I would say is I really wanted to combine different magnetic designs, but also I just wanted to replicate this butterfly nail so much. You can see here I've kind of magnetized from the sides and then up from the bottom to kind of shift all the pearls in the middle. And then once I am happy with that design, like you can see this, it looks absolutely amazing. I'm going to go in with the heavy metal liner gel from Ice Gel and paint the outline of the butterfly. I'm trying to make sure that I do not overlap onto the magnetic too much and keeping it very fine. That's why I'm using the needle liner brush from Kokoist for this, because if you have not got this brush, it is the tiniest brush. I know it doesn't look super tiny in this video. It's so small. Like, the detail that you can get in with this brush is insane. Definitely recommend it if you are someone that likes to do a lot of very thin line work and very detailed painting. It is a bit of an investment, but at the end of the day, that's why when it comes to more expensive tools, more expensive brushes, it's really important to look after them and make sure that you are cleaning them after every use. I know, especially as with makeup brushes, I never clean my makeup brushes after every use, right? But with nail brushes, I clean them religiously after every use, because it's just, you're gonna save yourself so much headache. Like, future you will thank past you if you just clean your brushes, okay? But yeah, anyway, I'm going in and kind of painting the outline, curing that once I'm happy with it, and I'm going to go in with these very small silver round rhinestones. The inspiration image actually had like an oblong oval shape for the body, but I didn't have any rhinestones like this, so you know, we make do with what we have. And I think that this kind of rhinestone is probably more realistic. Most people will have this sort of round rhinestone in their collection, right? And one tip here is going in with your very fine tooth tweezers or any tool that has like a flat edge to kind of line them up. I find that's the easiest way to get my gems into a straight line, rather than trying to do it using a rhinestone picker or, you know, something that is rounded. And now we're going to top coat, but top coat only the parts that don't have the rhinestones, because we obviously do not want to lose the dimension of the rhinestones. And now is the fun part. We're going to go in with the Jello Jello tube gel, the zigzag gel, and I'm going to start by grabbing a blob using my brush and apply this to the wings of the butterfly. After each one of these circular blobs, you know, I'm going to cure it immediately. This gel, I think, actually would maintain its shape if you didn't cure them all after each one immediately. It does have a thicker viscosity which keeps its shape, but I just thought, you know, to prevent myself from accidentally nudging any of the previous ones whilst I'm applying the following ones, I'm going to cure after each one. And you can see here, once I'm building it up, this is what it looks like. And I think also, because I've put it on a magnetic gel underneath, again, the 3D dimension gives it that really nice shift. And it just, like, look at this. Yeah, look at her. How stunning is she? And then when you have the rhinestones in the middle, oh my gosh, chef's kiss, voila. And then also I've done it in a green version as well. To be fair, I don't think the green version slaps as much because, I don't know, maybe it's the lighting in this clip. The green is pretty. I think the blue is just more mesmerizing. Let me know down below, green or blue, what are you thinking? And so to follow on, there was also actually another inspiration image that I was really inspired by for this design, and it entailed, and this was actually a design that I found going through Mayour's story highlight for the cooling collection, was a nail artist. They had done like a nude base and then they'd done this half and half ombre as a French tip, which is what I'm doing here in this nail. And it just looks so amazing to me. I think the idea of blending magnetic gels is something that is kind of underrated actually, right? I've never done it before, And I've never actually seen many nail artists doing this before, but when I actually was working with them, I think it looks so pretty. And it's not too much work to blend magnetic gels into each other. It's pretty easy. I think this is something that I definitely want to experiment with more. As you can see here, I use this kind of stippling blending brush, which is actually a very cheap one I got from Temu, and it works really well. I would say the one thing that you need to know if you're going to be doing this is making sure that you are really on it with how you're going to magnetize the pearls. So in this instance, I wanted to build up a bit more color and a bit more depth, so I did 2 coats, leaving the base coat blank, but then I've gone in and magnetized the second coat because you've blended it, right? So usually when you work with magnetic gels, if you want to reset your magnetic gel, you can just paint over it and redo your pearls. It's all good, it's all fine. But if you're going to be doing ombre, that's a little bit trickier because to just kind of reset them by painting is not the easiest. So it's just one thing that I would say to bear in mind is if you're going to be doing ombre, make sure that you know exactly how you're going to magnetize it. You're not using it as an experimentation, you know how to do the magnetic technique that you are planning to do. And then after that, because yes, I just did the same half moon shape, I'm going to go in with the heavy metal liner gel and paint in a very rough, kind of sketchy, kind of pretty butterfly shape, and top coat all of this to give a really smooth finish, because the last finishing part of this nail is going to be adding on 3D balls, adding some 3D texture into it, because I am just loving 3D right now, especially since I got this Valla Toy Gel. Oh my gosh, where was this in my life? Probably going to plan in doing 3D into every single set that I do from now on, because this Valla Toy Gel is just a dream to work with. And I've also been seeing online techniques where people will color their Valla Toy Gel using inks, like the more nail art liquids. And because I have 2 sets of these, we know this is the next set that's coming out, okay? I'm going to be trying to experiment with this. Cannot wait. But yeah, as you can see, I'm just kind of rounding these into 3 different sized balls and applying these to the nail, curing after each one, of course. And I'm trying to, as I attach it, make sure that I give a good surface area on the base in terms of enough of the circle is flat to the base of the nail, right? But then I also want to make sure that I don't flatten out the actual ball shape, because I do really want this to look like it's just balls sitting on the center of the nail. Because as you can see here as well, when you add texture and shapes and 3D elements onto magnetic pearls, it just refracts the pearls in another way, in a really, really pretty way. So that's what I was trying to play around with here, was just different ways that I can play around with these pearls and these magnetic gels. And this is what it ended up looking like in total. Really, really happy with it. I'm going to just top coat the 3D gel, because of course 3D gel, usually not non-wipe, you need to top coat it. And it also gives it that really nice shine as well. And we are finished with this nail. Now I guess as I move on to the next nail, the theme for this nail set is definitely magnetic and 3D. So I thought we can switch gears a little bit. Let's talk a little bit more about life, So I firstly want to say thank you so much for over 1,000 subscribers. I really didn't expect to get to reach 1,000 subscribers within only a few months of me posting, because I know YouTube is not easy. YouTube takes grind, it takes dedication. It's not even the consistency or the effort that you put into making videos, right? You also need to make sure that you're making good quality videos, and you want to make videos that mean that you can talk with people, because for me, that's why I'm doing YouTube, is I want to talk with people, make nail friends, I love nails. I want to talk about nails with people. So yeah, that was kind of rambling, but thank you so much. I really didn't expect to reach this milestone so quickly, and I really hope that I can just put that time and that energy into making better content, especially because actually this is something that's also a recent change in my life. Is I started a new job a couple of months ago and it's going great so far, but you know, like, work is also a commitment, YouTube is a commitment, and I really want to make sure that I balance my time and my energy really well between both. And another big life change, right, is that I'm moving in a week. So that's also my apologies, because I have not uploaded for 2 weeks. And the reason for that is because I had actually created this set 2 weeks ago. I think the same weekend that I uploaded the neon orange candy set is when I created this set, but I just editing takes a long time, and things have been picking up in other areas of my life because I'm also moving, so it's all been like quite a lot. But YouTube is a commitment that I really want to stay consistent with if possible. But yeah, obviously moving means that life is going to be even more chaotic over the next couple of weeks, so please bear with me if my uploads are a little bit more infrequent. I was also playing around with the idea of doing a moving video, in terms of a video where I literally just vlog myself moving all of my nail stuff, my whole nail station, from one place to another, because I think that would be pretty interesting. I think that's something that I would be interested in watching from somebody else, because I know it's going to be pretty painful, let's be honest, because moving is never fun. And then also moving nail stuff, I feel like that adds another layer onto it, you know. Also, in that same topic, please let me know if you have any tips for moving generally, or any tips for moving nail stuff. That would be very, very much appreciated, because I guess right now my MO is just to kind of bubble wrap as much as I can and hope for the best. Especially because, as painful as the process of moving is, it's also nice to think about it in a really positive way, because it means change. It means that there is an exciting new chapter to your life, right? And I know that I'm going to be a lot more happy in the place that I'm moving into. So yeah, short-term pain for long-term gain kind of thing. And talking of, you know, short-term pain, we are going to be coming back to the nails that I'm currently making, because I decided to challenge myself. Again, Kai has inspired me with this. Her sculpting skills are just insane, so I thought, you know what, there was a nail set that I was also taking inspiration from, and they'd had this huge clear 3D heart that was on one of the fingers, but it wasn't like, I assume it was probably a charm, but it was a really big bulky charm. And you know, I don't have any charms like this, so I decided I'm going to try and sculpt it. Let's see how this goes. This was my first attempt, and by no means did it come out perfect, but I'm pretty happy with the outcome. So I was using the Valla Toy Gel again, rolling it into a long line, and then once I was kind of happy with my thickness, you know, I started to curve in the edges into a heart shape and really just take my time with sculpting this, trying to perfect it as much as I can. Honestly, I would say if you're going to be making your own 3D charms like this, try to make sure that when you roll out your initial line, or however you are, you know, sculpting it, whether it might be with balls or lines or whatever, those basic shapes that you're going to be using, try to make them as even as possible, because you can see here that one side of the heart is a little bit bigger than the other, which made kind of sculpting it a bit more tricky. But overall, I think for a first attempt, it was really good. And then obviously I went to flash cure that. I think I flash cured it twice, just because I wanted it to actually not be malleable at all. And we can go ahead and go back to the base, which is, you know, just adding on another layer of the green magnetic gel and magnetizing this to the tip, using the same method as all the other nails in this design, because I wanted to keep consistency with the magnetic gel. Once I'd painted that base, then I'm going to go in and just layer a little bit more of the gel over the top of the middle, because I wanted to create like a banding in the middle. And then obviously using my ombre brush just to even that out. And as you can see here, this is my heart charm. Because some of the edges had a little bit of gel residue on the edge, I'm going to go in with, I think this was a 200 grit file. and just file off any of those sharp parts of the edges just to smooth it out. And we are almost done with this nail, but I thought something was a little bit missing, so I added on some of the Nailbayo Doi Dress gel onto the edge. This is multicolored. I didn't want all of the colors. I wanted just the blue and the green kind of colors. You don't really see it. I think this is kind of a mute step for me to do, but it's fine. It is what it is. And then I top coated the nail in preparation for applying the charm. So I didn't really know how to approach applying this charm because it's got a hollow center, right? So I thought, okay, let's use the Jello Jello Zig Zag gel to kind of layer on a coat on the bottom of it, and then we can stick this onto the nail. I think this method worked okay because it would have been more difficult for me to try and guess the shape on the nail first and then apply the charm, right? If anybody else has tips on how to apply charms like this, please let me know down below because I didn't really know any better way. I think this way worked. It worked for me. Maybe there's a better way, but I do not know it in my head right now. And then of course, because we want to smooth it out, I'm going in with the Jin.B liner gel just to, you know, paint a nice even coat of top coat over the charm. And then going in with my normal top coat just to top coat around all of the edges as well. And also not forgetting to get into the middle of it. When you are working with charms like this where there's a hollow center, try to make sure that you don't overload the gel in the center too much. Just use the bare minimum for the 3D effect, as you can see here. And this so far is the nails that I have completed. This is one hand. I'm really happy with the outcome. I really like the combination of magnetic and 3D and just kind of playing around with more simple, I guess, designs, but still a lot of work that goes into these designs, right? And then of course, I'm sure everybody has seen this technique, but I really wanted to try my hand at using the paperclip magnetic technique that has been going viral for the past 5-6 months, I would say, especially in, I believe, around February, because Valentine's Day, you know, everybody wanted to do those hearts. I've never attempted this before, and I think looking back, it was a bit of a fail, okay? I'll just be honest with you. This didn't go to plan. I ended up doing something completely different with this nail because I couldn't get this magnetic thing to work. And I think looking back, as you can see here, right? It's just not like, what is this? What's going on here? My heart is not hearting. I don't know whether it's the magnet that I was using not being strong enough, because I know that you need to use, well, actually, I see people do it on 2 variations. Sometimes people can attach their paperclip to a long bar magnet, and then other times people use like a short, thick magnet. But I think it might have been my paperclip. Not super sure. Like, even when I tried with the bar magnet, it was not giving me what I was hoping for. And my suspicion is that it was the paperclip, because I think maybe because it's gold plated or there's something to do with the paperclip probably was not correct. So we will reattempt this in a future design. So I ended up just scrapping this idea and moving all the pearls to the bottom for this coat, curing this, and then going in with my liner brush to paint on butterflies on top of the cured gel beneath. Using the same blue, I'm going to magnetize these butterflies specifically so that I can have that contrast between the kind of clear glass base and then the bright magnetized butterflies, you know? And as I work on this nail, I think this design is probably pretty simple. You can kind of follow along on the visuals, but please let me know if there's any questions below. I guess I will talk a little bit more about moving and my plans for my channel going forwards. I think the first thing in terms of moving logistically is that I really want to focus on my, I guess, video aesthetic, video appearance, because right now I zoom in a lot, but I really want to put effort into kind of building out my lighting and my background, I guess I would say, on my nail station, because the lighting in my current flat is not the best. It's just not the best, right? I really want to invest in better lighting and that kind of like production side of things. But then in terms of, I guess, YouTube and goals and aspirations is I want to try and keep to 3 uploads a month minimum. I would love to do 1 upload every week. on a weekend, on a Saturday or a Sunday. That would be like my dream, right? But these videos take a lot of work and time to not only create the designs and then do the nails, but then also the editing and all the post-production from it. It takes it up a big chunk of time, and starting a new job and having work as that commitment as well, I really, just want to make sure that I balance not burning out and being able to give the right amount of energy to everything in my life. And I think that's also not a clear-cut thing, right? Because there's always going to be different seasons and different periods in your life, and you're always going to be balancing different things. So we'll see how things go. And then I guess on the other side of things with YouTube, it would just be that I want to try and use my community tab a lot more on here, but then also using my Instagram and my stories a lot more to share others' work, and also just to talk about nail stuff, not just keeping it to I post a photo or my uploads. Like, I also want to just share nail memes, that kind of vibe. So yeah, definitely, I guess those are like my 3 main goals that I want to have for myself, but also make sure that I'm being conscious and not putting too much pressure on myself with keeping up to it, because it's also a creative outlet. And I think that's really important if you have a creative outlet, is that you can have high standards for yourself and you can have goals, but also don't hold your self-worth to those goals. That maybe got a little bit more deep. So I guess we will go back to this design now and lighten it up a little bit. You can see here that I've just painted on like a shape and magnetized this shape onto this thumbnail. And then I'm going to go in with the Jello Jello Zig Zag gel again to attach this butterfly charm. Again, I'll share the photo of the inspiration. This is the same inspiration kind of from the butterfly nail that I made earlier, the same set, because there was a lot of bulky charms and rhinestones and gems on that set. And fortunately, I already had this charm in my collection, which was like white and blue and a butterfly shape. How perfect is this? But I would say one thing to keep in mind is that I put this charm and this design on my dominant thumbnail. Please don't do that, because it's one of the fingers that you're going to use the most. So then it ends up that you kind of catch it on a lot of things, because I wore this set after making it and I've been wearing them for a week so far, and this thumbnail is the only nail that has popped off. And I believe the reason for that is because I was catching it on so many things, because it was such a bulky charm and it was on my thumbnail. So definitely, I know that maybe that's like a more logistic thing of wearing nails, which I guess we don't really think about when we're designing them, but it's also kind of something that I want to bear in mind going forwards. Probably try and keep these designs to my non-dominant hands and fingers. And as you can see here, it is now done. And that is all the nail designs that I'm going to be sharing for this set, because I did just duplicate some of the other designs on the other hand. And here is the finished set, as always in comparison to my design. And then we can go ahead and just cure them for a final 60 seconds, wipe down each nail using an individual wipe ideally. And here is what they look like, on like a plain background. Really happy with the outcome of these nails, and I think that they might be one of my favorite sets that I've ever done so far. Really happy that I picked up the Mayo cooling collection, which you can get from Cookie if you're in the UK. I do have a personal referral link in the description below, shameless plug. But otherwise, please let me know what you think of these nails, if you would ever replicate a design like this, what you're excited about for summer in terms of nail inspiration, things like that. And if you'd like to, communicate, chat with me more, I also have my Instagram in the description below, and I aim to use my community tab a lot more going forwards as well. So I think that's everything from me for this video. If you watched to this point, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world.